Gather around as I tell you a story of a strong and proud people. Today we are going to talk about the rich history and culture of the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Our history rooted in slavery from which we created our own identity. But let's start at the beginning. Plantation. Known for its contribution in the textiling industry back in the late 1700s. This property was owned by Thomas Stubbs and was approximately 5,000 acres and housed 384 slaves.
This would have been a slave cabin which would accommodate a family of 5 to 4 in the front of us as we approach it. And what the slaves normally pretend to ignore is that they love having bottonwood. Bottonwood is very popular because it came from the ponds and it was extracted from the bottonwood tree. And they're going to use that tree because it supported a moisture system. And 300 years ago, you would need that type of wood because it would be raining a lot. And you're going to use the thatch leaves. The thatch leaves, for instance, are the dry leaves you see at the top of the cabin. And you will find out that they are extracted from the silver-top palm tree.
The silver-top palms. A palm commonly found within the islands of the Turks and Caicos and easily identified by the silvery hairs found on the underside of the palm's leaves were commonly used to make brushes for dusting the home, long brooms to sweep within the home and storage areas, hand fans, field baskets to be used to gather items from the garden or field area collecting grasses for tea, fruits, and vegetable, storage baskets that held grain in ladder areas of the home until needed, and hats to be worn daily as protection from the sun.
Why I make brooms? Because it was a fun. You don't got nothing to do. You sit down and you make your brooms and you sell it. So that's just money coming in to take care of the situation.
And how did you make them?
I go to the thatch land, cut the thatch, dry it for 4 days, and then after that we take it and we rub it together. And we get the stick, the mop stick, and then we tie it on the mop stick, the first piece and the second piece. Then they take it and they turn it over. And when you turn it over, you make a broom, and then you hem bone it. The hem bone is, you dress it up. You know, you take the needle and you knit it. You knit it. So, but the silver top you knit it. For the day you make 3. And you're doing the brush, you make about 6 in the day for the brush. You got the broom and you got the brush. So the broom will sweep the floor and the brush will brush down the dresser and everything like that. So that's how we grow along in the years.
Inside the kitchen area, what were popular were mills. Mills were very popular back then. Mills were so popular because it was actually used to grind corn. It was used to grind cornmeal, and from cornmeal and grits you can actually obtain bread. bread, cornstarch, a lot of stuff, and those are popular for baking back then. So the average slave would have had to been a skilled bread maker because he wouldn't have had the normal oven. They were using fire half and brick oven stove.
Food preparation takes many shapes around the world, and how we prepare food has always been determined by the local resources and later changes due to the influences by the people we meet. Most cooking and other domestic affairs took place in the sociable presence of others. As in African traditions, the African Caribbean cooking hearth was associated with female domains. As in much of Africa and India, limestone ovens were commonly used in the Caribbean to bake bread and other food. Remnants of the hearth used by Turks Island slaves can be found at the Cheshire Hall plantation on Providenciales.
Now this would have been called the fire half 300 years ago. The fire half would have been used to cook on, and basically why they call it a fire half is because at one point a lot of our ancestors were Taino Indians. They were basically bushmen bending down, creating fire. Someone got tired of doing that, had it elevated to their waistline, so it was about half of his body, so we called it a fire half. So fire halves were used to cook with. This would have cooked the owner of the plantation, Thomas Tubbs' food.
Some homes never required hearths, and instead cooked over rocks on an open fire, which we still find commonly around the islands, as some local dishes are best prepared over an open fire.
You don't cook to feed the dog out there. Or wake out. They'll tell you, when I cook, I ain't got nothing for the dog eat. He eat what they left to the table. They're sympathetic with the dog is what left to the table. But not in my pot. I don't burn rice. I cook, when I cook, you can have my food right out and take that pot, go cook again.
These, for instance, the graveyard cactus, they were basically used as a hydrating substance. So you're going to take the middle part out, suck on it, not chew it up like a bubble gum, and then you're going to have it spit out. You're just extracting the moisture because you're thirsty, dehydrated on a 5,000-acre cotton plantation, and you're going to be exhausted. So you just suck on that for moisturization, and it hydrates you for about 24 hours. But it's called the graveyard cactus, a hydrating substance. It would have been the famous cotton tree. It's called long staple sea island cotton tree. Now, it's not as the same as the ones you see in Georgia that are very small. I will show you. Let's take a walk. For instance, these trees, they start differently. They start with a pulp press, grows into a flower. Okay? From the flower turns red. This is your red flower here. From the red flower, you get a yellow flower. It opens wide in the middle and it makes the cotton on the inside.
From this past, we kept our cooking techniques, our storytelling, our ring games, and our music.
Culture to me is having fun. Culture is important to me because when I go to Moscow, I see how they used to make the drums to use. And culture is important to me because we see what they had to go back and use in the old movies. Culture is important to me because all the exciting things we see in the islands, like Cub Fest, Crab Fest, and Basketball Festival, and all the other things.
It simply means to me that I got to experience what the olden days was like
Like when they have company, I see the people dressed up in costumes, and they're like masculine.
Those unfamiliar would find it hard to believe the sweet melody that can be driven from the blade of such an unassuming tool as the ripsaw. Akin to the rhythmic pulse of the African shikiri, the playing technique of the ripsaw leads the tempo of our national music, the origins of which are steeped in mystery as there are several possibilities to it becoming a part of the fabric of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Accompanied by the acoustic guitar, concertina, hand drum, and shakers, the ripsaw sang out a sweet tune that led the way for the masquerade bands of old, charging through the neighborhoods, gyrating and shay-shaying to the melodious sounds whilst revelers joined in the festivities. The marriage of Masson and Junkanoo birthed the newest of our many native festivals, Maskanoo. Celebrated on Boxing Day, it combines the vibrant costuming of both festivals and fuses the musical stylings of the Junkanoo and a ripsaw band, creating a magnificent favor that leaves the attendees entranced, wanting and longing for the vibes to never stop. So come and join us and feel the spirit of the Maskanoo. We too have our tales of ghosts and spirits. We too have our old wives' tales. We too have our traditional dances. We too have our fables and folk songs, our legends, and our mysteries. Yes, our story is a rich one, full of intrigue, laced with fanciful, romanticized tales of pirates and their booty, of fearless fighters, and a people determined to survive even amidst the harshest conditions. Our legendary storytellers have entertained for generations.
We talk stories just like you're saying, just like how we learn it. And if you take anything from it, it lose the weight of it. But Yebi was kind of a stupid, crashified, and Babuki was a good fella. So Babuki went down the road, and old Yebi went down the road. He see this banana tree, a banana hanging over the pond. So he looking down the pond and say, Yebi, look at them nice one. Every time Babuki dive down in the pond, but Yebi reach up, show one banana and eat that and drop the skin down. You go, hey, say, Yebi, say, oh, like I got skin. Say that. Say, Yebi, you gotta go down and say, see the bunch down there. So, but Bookie jumped down, go down. But Yebi pulled out. He died. But Yebi down eat the whole bunch of banana. And he got all the skins, but Bookie got his skins. He said, all right. Boy, he said, he said, man, fooly fool. Say, man, fooly fool. I say, yeah. So they walk across the Salino, and they meet this cow sticking in the mud. So there's boy, yeah, be going, cow, in mouth. And but yeah, be going inside, and he caught out some meat. They come out. But Bookie said, yeah, we feel all that meat. The man see a cow out there on the Salino and say, I heard that man say, but if you go in there, you see that thing like light. Say, don't cut that. Say, if you cut that, the cow will fall down. He say, oh man, what? A light? But Bookie go on here, he go on here, cow in mouth. He go on inside. And he look, you see the cow heart beating. What was that? The cow fall down. The cow fall down. The cow can't open his mouth no more. But Yabby inside there, wallowing. But Bookie had to go back. Yabby go back with his knife, cut the cow belly open. But Bookie come out, hey man, say, But okay, what you do? Man, the thing you tell me like, man, that thing looks so good. I cut piece of that to taste and see how it tastes. Say, but Bookie, and I tell you, that's the car hard. That's what keep the car alive. And you go on, and you say, now why you see, now we ain't got no more meat. See, because this girl rotten over here. Man, he rotten, he rotten, he rotten. They bury him in the mud, bury him in the mud.
All cultures share a universal interest in the things that go bump in the night. We all want an explanation for the unexplained, and thus let our imaginations run wild with thoughts of the spiritual realm. From stories of zombies to why crossroads are meeting places for the undead, to incantations to ward off evil spirits and spells of love that bond souls together for eternity. These are the things of folklore. These are the things of legend passed down across the generation divide. Through our history, we have found ways to make tools and products for the landscape around us. And after our African ancestors were brought to the New World, they also looked for ways to apply their traditional skills in the new landscape. Turks and Caicos Islands baskets are classified as coiled basketry, using grasses and rushes handpicked from the wild marshes and fields on Middle Caicos, North Caicos, and South Caicos. These grasses are known to us as fina grass, and the fina baskets are used in the separating of the ground corn into coarse and fine for preparations of meals, such as grits made from coarse corn and porridge from fine corn. All grasses and leaves used in straw work are picked, wrapped, and dried for several hours in preparation before weaving into baskets. Each family making new baskets as and when they were needed, passing the skills on to the next generation. Fishing families would take their young boys out on the water to learn the trade after completing all-age school at age 14, teaching skills such as how to set a lobster pot and a fish trap, how to read the water and the best times and locations to source fish. These skills would have provided for them and their family for the rest of their lives.
I used to do plenty fishing. I only stopped fishing since I had the pinched nerve. I stopped fishing.
So when did you start fishing? How old were you when you started fishing?
I must was but 26. Because I married early. And I had my children early. And when you look and see you got 3, 4 children going to school, and you don't got no job, the husband just going in the boat, and I tell him, allow me to go in the boat. You couldn't hug the conch, and I could knock it, and I could jerk it. So when we do that, when we come home, we take the conchs, we clear the plant, and we sell it. The children got food for next morning. And the children got books and everything. And we fishing it. When we come home, we take the fish and we sell it. So I wasn't, you call it, our family wasn't no pest or nobody.
You sail to Haiti and do that pretty regularly. Now to get food, they get money from get food in Haiti. Well, then that's where those little dingy boats come in. They go to the bank and we ski, or Milton Key. And some people ranch on Long Key. By ranching, I mean live on. Okay, they ranch on Milton Key. They put up the little tent on Milton Key. They ranch on the McGree Key, mostly the little key. And Every morning they take the little digger boats, and you see many of them out there. And sometimes our guys would leave from home for about 3 or 4 weeks to make voyage, they call it. And that is to harvest the conch, get the conch, hook up the conch. Back then, used to hook conch. They hook those conchs. After that, people used to put on goggles and snorkels and fins and stuff and diving. Early next morning before they go, they have to take that conch and beat it and hang it out to dry, because you take dry conchs back to Haiti and saltfish, because you don't have to freeze and stuff like today.
As a young boy, when school closed on Friday, we used to plan a trip to the beach or in the woods, and we would cook. We would do that Fridays and Saturdays. So one guy would steal from his parents the rice, another one would steal the peas or the grits or the thing and all that. My job is to provide the meat. So I was going to either kill a couple of packing dogs, or people call it grando or morning dogs. I would kill them or shoot them with my baby shotgun, or I'll catch the fish. Frequently on Saturdays, we went to the shop. He had to go messages for our parents. Go buy the flour, sugar, and lard, took the water from the tanks and bring it home. When you were finished with that, you were free. And we didn't mess around town like I see boys doing today. We went in the woods, picked grapes, went over the beaches, do that kind of stuff, and come back.
For these islands, import and export were main structures to the building of their beautiful nation today. For it was the source of how they got medical supplies, food, clothing, amongst many other things.
They were everything, our livelihood, our ambulance. Well, if you understand that the Turks and Caicos Islands are a group of islands scattered, and the only way you can get from one island to the other was by boat. Okay, no bridge to take a train, was by boat. Boat. And so if we want to go to Grand Turk, want to go to Salt Cape, want to go to South Cape, want to go to Provo, it had to be by boat. So you see the reason we have to have boats all the time. Of course, we graduated from that now, and so I'm afraid that's the part of us that if we're not careful, we'll let it sink.
We grew up with sailing boats, and we try to keep that up in South Caicos once a year with a regatta so that we can showcase the sailboats. And as I said, I know the clubs in Provo trying to preserve that aspect of our culture by showing the young children how to make the sailboats and how to sail them, which is also very good.
Many people wouldn't know that South Caicos would have had their dinky boats, which we call some of them up there call a dory. And those are the boats that they would go hauling in. I got a net for this out there in my Jeep. And there's pieces where it would scull, so you'll find them there go out in the harbor with this, and they would scull and hook the conch and whatever like that. Back in North Caicos, sort of North Caicos, Middle Caicos, and Provo, our dingy boats would look more like that. Okay, this boat would have been easier to build because you wouldn't really need timbers to curve the bilge. Okay, so that's why you'll find South Caicos would have more of this. They had some of this because you had people in South Caicos who do this, but they would get their timber from cork tree, because you wouldn't have that amount of locusts like that around South Caicos.
My first boat, little skiff, when I was 5 years old.
What did you make it out of?
Plank wood.
Okay.
We had much wood like we got today,
I know, so I want to know what you made it out of.
Yeah, we used to go along the bay, pick up driftwood and oak wood and things, and
blanket.
Yeah, and I had a good boat. And
did you make the flat bottom boat? Or
yeah, flat bottom. And her name was the Sweetheart. That was her name. No, that's my first boat, the name the Sweetheart. I had the next one I built. I was a young man, and I gave him the Early Bird. And the next one I built was with me and her together. But I had all the skiff boats, but after they get growing up, and I built one, and I wanted to name Old Battleship. Yeah.
How long did it take you to make a boat?
Oh, not long. Since you got stuff together, Give me a day and a part. A day and a part.
So how long would it take to collect that driftwood from around the island?
Oh, well, we don't measure that. So if you measure that, that's going to be trouble.
But back in the day, you'll find every other family would have one of these.
Okay. What style boat is this? What style boat is this? What is it called?
This is one of these Bermudan type where we get that stuff from, but you have this, okay? Years ago, let me tell you how much boats used to be around. You had quite a few out of Middle Caicos, a few out of North Caicos. You had many out of Bravo, okay? But to get material to build those boats, you cut that pine. They had to make our own planks. And then you had some of those fellas like Colin and that who built boat. Back in the day when his dad used to build boat, a very good builder. And talk about early in the morning, he had to get up and rip the pine. You had people in Middle Caicos, particularly Kanbar, because Kanbar got a pine yard they would cut the pine from. And they would cut that pine and drag it to the west side. And the boats from north will go and haul that pine back to north. And however, get it down to Whitby and Kew, wherever, and to the boats. Kew people would have access to locust and the oak and whatever like that. Oak is a hardwood, like for tune plates and stuff like that. And Nignavite would be like for tillon. And this piece of stuff here, this is actually Nignavite as well. I did that because I want to stick with everything traditional. But back then they had to make everything, some of the tune plate. This is the eye block that connect the shroud to the tune plate. So we want to take the mounts out, which is a very rare thing in these size boat. It's like an abolished rope and you take the mounts out. If I had to ship this boat somewhere, I could disconnect that and take the mounts out. And when I get it where it's going, I could go back and put the mounts back in. But that is where the captain and some of the crew live. Here is the cargo hold, where you tote your cargo, put your council, when they come from maybe all the mangoes and the Spanish corn and plantain and whatever be below there. And out forward would be the forky hatch or the booby hatch. Yeah. This boat, I maintain everything of it. I had to handle this boat like a journalist, right? Read exactly the true story. So that's why this boat is called on the hill like this. They call this Aspen Timber. And on the hill would be the run.
But back to history again. If you're going to build something, you accumulate bits by bits. Bits by bits. So you put $1 the other day, you get $1 tomorrow. And if it rained the day after tomorrow, you go back there, you don't move $1. You move 50 cents.
Years ago, I came to Puerto the very first time. I was like about 9 years old. And I remember walking along what you call the Bay Road, along the beach down in Blue Hills from by Bethany Church and about back home. And you would look and see your vessels, you call these vessels the big boats, anchor off before different people landing. Okay? And like I would see these lamp poles along the road, you would see these boat masts out there like that. Had many big boats like that because for the people, they had to use that to fish, to go West Caicos, to go French Key, wherever they want to go in the whiskey. It is one of these boats that would go and would had many dinghy boats in tow, okay? And some people who would go didn't have a big boat, so what they do, they torch. And remember torch. This boat will pull them over. Okay? When you get out there, you're going to sail on the ocean. Normally, you'll take these, so-called the dinghy, you'll hoist this on deck. And this here is called the bottom fold. Notice that hook up there and hook over here. So when you're ready to take the dinghy on deck, like let's say you went from South Caicos to Grand Turk and going on the ocean, when you're ready to leave, you pull this dinghy boat up on the side here and you'll take that thing and you'll hook it in the bow and you'll hoist this like this. And then somebody under that will pull the stone over. This part is the stone. We pull the stone over. And when you get the stone inside, you ease it down on that bottom fall. And you do that for both sides of the boat. Let me give you a little bit of this for everybody. This is the thing you hold the water in. They call it the keg. Okay?
Fresh water?
Oh, yeah. You have not make no water at the sea, you know. So, like, people in Provo, they had a place somewhere in the bike where they would stop and fill water. People in North Caicos, they would come down and when they go to the fort, Delaski, they would stop there and fill the fresh water there.
On Delaski?
Yeah. Yeah, they stop there, fill the water, and then they go take the bank up. Okay? And so you have to carry enough water to get to Grand Turk. And when you get to Grand Turk, depends on the weather, how long you got to be in Grand Turk. When you have to fill some water in Grand Turk to get back down to the place.
This one's hot. Pull up. Remix. Let's do this. Turks and Caicos. I'm a citizen. I'm so proud. Hold 'em up. Down the mercy. These little bees, these little dots, little pebbles on the map. That's my rocks. That's my rocks. These little bees, these little dots, little pebbles on the map. That's my rocks. That's my rocks. You're welcome to visit, but please don't solicit. No, my people are very manly, courteous, intelligent, friendly.